From insanely broken rods to some of the most cheapest and affordable rods, today I'm going to be showing you some of the most underrated rods in fish. So the first rod on the list is obviously the scurvy rod because it's so good. That was a joke, by the way. So the first most underrated rod that a lot of people aren't using as of currently is the Arctic rod. This rod is so good for beginners, and overall, if you're not using it already, you're kind of missing out. And here's why I say this. The Arctic rod is only 25,000 credits, right? And for a beginner, that's pretty cheap. You can get that pretty quickly. This rod is also exceptional because it has a max kg of 80,000, which allows it to catch megalodons. So you can catch megalodons with a starter rod. You can buy this rod at the Northern Expedition Island at the first camp, and overall, this rod is pretty darn good. By the way, all the rods that are mentioned in this video were submitted through my Discord server, and the community basically voted on what rods they thought were the most underrated and perform really well. So if you disagree with any of these rods, leave a comment down below and see what other people think in the comment section. Now, this next rod is actually extremely good for beginners, just like the last one. The Rapid rod is only $14,000 and has pretty good resilience and an overall well-rounded rod. Now, is this better than the Arctic rod? I would personally disagree and say it is not. You can buy this rod from Roselet Bay, and overall is a pretty good starter rod. Now, this next rod is going to be for medium players, and this rod is a little bit harder to get, but it is extremely underrated because it has the highest luck boost in the entire game. That is going to be the Destiny rod. The Destiny rod costs 170,000 credits, and you have to have 75% of all bestiaries completed. This rod almost has a 250% luck boost and a max kg of over 100,000. Now, the lure speed on this one isn't that good, so I'd recommend putting Hasty on this if you want this to be effective. The next most underrated rod is actually from the Northern Expedition yet again. This rod costs 25,000 credits, and this is known as the Ice Warper's rod. Now, the Ice Warper's rod actually has pretty good stats overall. It is just another really good, well-rounded rod, and it's pretty cheap. It has a 50% lure speed, a 60% luck. Overall, this rod is pretty overpowered, especially for more intermediate players. The next super underrated rod is actually going to go ahead and be Rod of the Eternal King. This rod primarily benefits pro players because you need level 650 for it. It costs 250,000 credits, 1 lunar thread, 2 golden sea pearls, 3 infernal wood. This rod can be crafted in the ancient archives. The reason why this mutation is so overpowered is because it multiplies the price of the fish by 4 when you sell it. And you also have a 20% chance to get this mutation. It also has a royal escort ability, which has a 10% chance of happening every 30 seconds, and it boosts your luck to 150% for 10 seconds. The best enchant for Rod of the Eternal King is Hasty. Other than that, there's not really anything that goes good with it because the only thing that's bad about it is the lure speed. Anyways, guys, comment down below what you think are the most underrated rods in fish.